Hi everybody, this is a tile by tile of the dip amp scythe. And so as a recap, you'll only get this spawn if you have not placed the D amp that's right here. So if you've placed your D amp right here in the field, then you won't get the spawn dip amp scythe, it will get cancelled out. So if you haven't done that, then basically the husks will spawn all in this flat bit just from here right across to here. You will sometimes get a husk that spawns up here, and you will sometimes very occasionally get a husk spawning up here. So just to deal with that first, I have darts here, and they are specifically to kill the husks, the very few husks that will spawn up here. And these particular darts have 6 perk heals. So I've had before, you see a husky up here, and then it tends to take 1 or 2 shots to kill it, so it's bashed the wall a bit by then. So in that case, the 6th perk just heals it. I also have here a block off, and that again is to stop the husks that spawn here from going up the top. And again, this is a wall spike with 6 perk heals. So it kills off the husks. It kills off pretty much any husks apart from big fat ones and flingers. But the healing should stop anything serious from happening. So that's the block offs. And as well, behind here I have a layer of block offs. So you can see it's a wall, an edited cone. I actually have a floor. You don't really need an edited floor, but I have one anyway. And basically that just runs 1 tile wide. So everywhere that you can see the brick ceilings, that's got a block off underneath it. And it's just a 1 tile wide block off. And this kind of functions to stop the dip amp east spawn from walking round, but it also functions in case we get ones up the top for dip amp south. So these darts here, they are not part of my dip amp south defenses, they are part of my amp D defenses, so you don't need them. And basically the majority of the husks come up this way, like 80% of them will come this way. So I have dance traps here, and I have drop traps 3 tiles high. So what happens is we got 2 floor spikes, 2 wall launchers, and the drop traps, and basically they just kind of push the husks back indefinitely. Very few husks will even make it to the top of this hill on my runs. And as a recap, these floor spikes, they slow husks down by 15%. And they do a bit of damage, not as much damage as some of the other floor traps, but it's okay. So essentially then, the very few that get up to the top, and these are mostly smashers, because we have a drop here that's pushing them back down the hill, and then at the top we've got a launcher that's going to push them all the way back because it's open here, and another floor spike, because the effect of this one will last 2 tiles, so it'll be here and here, and then we'll need another one to slow it down again. We've got ceiling electrics, and as a recap, they will hit, so if a husk triggers them here, then they will hit the husk that's here as well, because of their range. And then we have tar pit, tar pit, tar pit. Probably this one isn't necessary, but it's just for the mini boss and stuff. And we've got a dart here, launcher here, ceiling electric here, launcher here, and that will push the husks all the way back to that dart there. Then we've got dart here, dart here, dart here, and a gas. And there should be a gas there. Probably, I mean, I don't need it. So, but you might if your durability isn't quite as good or whatever, or your PL is lower. Then a gas here can help with the smashers and the mini boss. So that's the main attack, and as I said, the majority of husks come up there. So I've actually run this amp in different ways. So I used to have a pathway up this hill here, but I found it easier just to block it off because very few husks come up it. So you can see I've just got a cone here, a wall here, and another cone here, and then this takes you, this is a wall dart on the other side, so this takes you back into my tunnel there. But I have not had a single husk attempt to come and go up this hill. They're happy going this way, and the reason that I pathed them this way in the end was that if I get the mini boss on this side, for some weird reason it always wants to come up this way. So I used to have this way blocked off, but the mini boss would just keep bashing through it. So it was easier to trap this approach and leave the middle side blocked off. So in fact, you can see there's a drop trap there which doesn't need to be there because nobody's going to come up that way. But so we've got floor spike, launcher, dart. I've got sound walls on this side and this side. That's probably not sufficient if there's loads of propanes, but I haven't ever had a problem. Launcher here, floor spike here, and then up top we have drop, drop, and again drop, drop, drop. You can see those drops go up one, so your drops can't be more than 3 tiles. They won't trigger if they're more than 3 tiles. So here, this is kind of like 2.5 tiles up to that one, and then in fact, no, I wonder does this one actually trigger now that I write it, but anyway, I haven't had any problems. If you're having issues, then you might need to lower that one down. So I've just got a few ceiling electrics here because occasionally you'll get a husk that tries to come up this way. I don't know why, because it's blocked off, but anyway, that just kills them. Dart here, dart here. You can't put a floor here because then the husks can't get through. Launcher here. This bit isn't even necessary really. I could probably get rid of it. And then up around my amp I have these 2 dynamos and gas, and same on the other side. I find the mini boss will always go to one of these corners. It doesn't seem to go to like this part here. I don't really know why. So that just kills off the mini boss basically. Final thing about this amp, which is that we have some block-offs here so that the husks can't get in around the side, and I have a dart just to kill any problematic husks, but in all honesty I don't really have any issues with the husks coming around here at all. And if they do get through, then technically in order to get to the amp A they have to walk all the way around, so I don't think they're very motivated to go that way. It's quite a long, complicated route for them. So lobber shield wise, obviously it comes out 9 tiles from the amp, and then that final tile, I've made it go up 1, and that is just because of this situation over here, because otherwise it would be like this, and then if a husk did spawn up here they could just walk onto the lobber shield, and that has happened in the past and it's problem. But if you do that as your final one, there's no issues. Yeah, and that is the dip amp south. I do not ever have any issues on this approach at all. Of course that is because I have the D hill placed, not the D mine. I know that people who have the D mine placed will get some of their tunnels blown up around here. So if that is you, then what I'd recommend is that basically you have to push your tunnels back a bit. So I would still really recommend trying to throw them off the cliff edge if you can, because that's going to slow them down quite substantially. But you just might find these walls here would get blown up, and occasionally some floors up here. So you might need just some extra layers of your tunnel.